two-day workshop Digital Literacy for Student Support Staff in University of Kashmir. I'm honored to start the proceedings of this very important deliberation, and I request Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Siddiqui, Chief Coordinator NEP Cell, to welcome the guests and participants.
From the point a student is registered for any academic program, he opts for any program, he opts for courses of that particular program, up to the point the results are declared in favor of the student or transcript or certificate is handed over to the student. Students' data is processed, is accepted, is fed into the systems in their respective departments, and it is transmitted to other divisions, other sections of the university. Specifically speaking, from the department, he is admitted to departments like registration in terms of RRs, and then other divisions of the university like conduct, like examination, like tabulation or results. They import data from registration and other divisions of the university. Now, in case a small error takes place in any division of the university, this error does not only disrupt the procedures and practices in that very particular department or in that very division, but it also hampers and disrupts efficiency, and it affects the processes in other divisions of the university as well. And for rectification of such errors, students mostly are at disadvantage. They approach all the concerned officers, they go from one department to another department for rectification of those errors. And it takes a lot of inconvenience results to employees as well as the students of the university. So in order to address this issue, NEP Cell recognized it and it realized its responsibility that it should organize some kind of training programs so that the officials or the computer operators or the officials concerned for accepting this data or recording this data, processing and transmitting it into the other divisions of the university, so that they are well versed with the basics, well versed with the procedures, well versed with the softwares and related issues, so that there is least probability of committing mistakes or these mistakes are kept at lowest ebb. This is one rationale why did this NEP Cell organize this kind of workshop, and in fact Honorable Vice Chancellor was very much particular about organizing this kind of workshops. And let me apprise you, Honorable Vice Chancellor has directed NEP Cell to organize many more like these kinds of workshops for computer operators who are working in different departments and who are working in administrative departments as well. And we are going to organize in the month of April one more this kind of workshop for computer operators, so that these kind of trainings can be a continuous process, because technology itself is not something that remains stagnant. Something that is relevant today may be irrelevant tomorrow. That's why we have to continuously, in view of the changes that take place in softwares, the procedures that those are envisaged to be changed, in view of that we have to continuously go for training programs. And second rationale of organizing this two-day workshop is that since we are right now in a transition kind of phase, we are transmitting from CBCS based curriculum to NEP based curriculum, and accordingly that envisages change in softwares, change in procedures and practices in all departments and administrative divisions. So as a reason of that, we may have to, in order to ensure that things move seamlessly in terms of data entry, in terms of data processing and transmission, we may have to apprise, we may have to train our concerned officials with regard to all those changes that we are likely to incorporate in our systems. So that's, I again at the end, I again welcome Professor Sharifuddin Pirzada for being here. I welcome him as chief guest of this inaugural session. I welcome Professor Dr. Maruf Naeem Qadri for being with us. And in fact, Dr. Maruf Naeem Qadri has accepted, he has continued to make some presentation that will be, I think, fruitful for all the participants. And I welcome Professor Muhammad Ashraf Shah, who is our consultant who has been working tirelessly to support NEP implementation in University of Kashmir. I welcome all core committee members and participants, and I wish that this exercise will be a fruitful and beneficial exercise for all of us. Thank you very much.
The most important thing is the transformation. The transformation is not in terms of only technological transformation. There has to be a transformation in terms of mindset as well. because the years where there was a manual system and then the student would come to you and then go from a desk to bench to desk to bench have gone. Now there is an accountability. The technological interventions which we have incorporated over the years has brought a sea of change. That is where those who are now getting into a system where student support, especially not only student support, or on governance related activities, everything has transformed through technology, and Alhamdulillah, University of Kashmir has always taken a lead. That is one. I would just basically tell you that we do not cater to student support services only in the campus. We do cater to student support services in the colleges also, because we have an established IT center there where the student from there itself, his awards, his registration returns, everything results, come from in a digital mode. That is where now you have a role in your respective offices where you also have to play a dynamic role and come out of that legacy type of an workflow. That is how we have transformed, Alhamdulillah, University of Kashmir. If you would see over last 3 years, how governance of the university has taken a different shift through the administrative management system on e-office, on e-billing, on other modules like property return system, like education allowance, like salary, arrears. All these modules are built in-house, tested, and then deployed. The processes are discussed with the stakeholders, with different sections, and then we incorporate those changes in the system. What my suggestion to all of you would be that you take most of what is basically most of the information, gather most of the information, and basically change according to the time need. That is how we would be able to deliver and cater to the students. The most important objective which we have is student. If we do not have a student, university is nowhere, isn't it? That is where not only in terms of giving a prompt support, being humble, being nice to a student also, being responsive to a student also would play its role in the society. Then talking about registration, we have moved on to a digital mode of registration system RR since 2008. Then modified and changed to next level the result system, where we were publishing gazettes earlier. Those gazettes are gone. Those gazettes are now not sent to the colleges. It's all a digital mode where a college also is able to download its copy, and then student is also getting his or her result at their fingertips. Not only that, we have also made an Android app for university services. The student or an employee downloads it, installs it on his, he gets a date sheet notifications also. He is able to view date sheets of their departments. They are able to view their examination details. They are able to view their award, whatever they are punched, everything through a mobile app also. What I mean to say is that the times have changed and the transformation is essential in terms of mindset. Because technological interventions we have, alhamdulillah, incorporated, and we would be incorporated time and now. And now focusing on primarily on administrative governance, where you do not have paper bills now. You do not have, all child education allowances. Earlier there were discrepancies happening, that there were employees who were not knowing that we were not supposed to fill the child education claim for third child. They would claim for third child also. Then there was recoveries happening. Now, alhamdulillah, since last 3-4 years, that does not happen. Because awareness through technology also, it tells you, no, you cannot apply. He is your third child, you can only apply. And the moment he attains 14 years or 15 years, whatever is the limit to the age, the system will not allow you to claim for his child education allowance. So that is where we have moved over the years. And every one of us, alhamdulillah, in administration also, we have seen it, that if we have reached to this particular level on governance, on e-filing, on e-billing, it is because of you, because of all of us. It is because the end users have used it efficiently and they have adopted the change. That is where we do not have to put a full stop to the change. The change is always going to be there. We all have to learn till end. The last thing which we learn, alhamdulillah, in this life is how the death comes, right? So till then we have to be very accommodative, very humble on how we have to learn and what we have to adopt.
This program is important in itself in several ways. When I was student here in 1987, I started my masters from Kashmir University. As Maruf Saab said, that at that point of time we had manual methods in vogue. So that method, I didn't face any difficulty. When I was in UG, in Baramulla College, I never visited university because everything was running smoothly. We had a very talented lot working here. The first time I visited university was when I was to appear in the interview, because no entrance was that point of time. So that was my first visit to University of Kashmir. And then I remember even in my master's degree, I didn't know anything about the administrative block, nor the examination block. This is my personal experience. So the people who were working at that point of time had wonderful mind, had wonderful hands. And it was manual. Now imagine those people, those our seniors, if they were in digital mode, they would have done more better. And then if we compare, so we have to accept the realities. If we compare that period and this period, now imagine a student is coming from Kafara for some problem in examination or administration, and we ask him, please come tomorrow. We tell him so lightly, so easily, as it is to bring something from the market outside, and he can get it within 5 minutes. We forget to note that it takes him one day, it takes him 500 rupees to reach here. This is not true only for you people, this is true for us also. Maybe we are also doing such mistakes in teaching. Now we have student-teacher evaluation for teachers. Why that evaluation is there? It's not that we want to torture our teachers, no. We want to have the system which is working in a nice way. Similarly, once upon a time we used to say that this university is based on certain important pillars. At that time, technology was not there. Now technology is one of the important pillars. The importance of teaching is only realized when there is importance of non-teaching issues. Imagine that if the student does not get the degree on time or the result on time, then he is at disadvantage. Now, second point, my experience, in 2008, when I went abroad on extraordinary leave for teaching purpose, the first 10 days were so confusing for me because there was no manual system. Although being from mathematics background, I used to use computer right from the inception 1991 because we had to do many things on the computer. Some knowledge was there, but when I was asked to go to the class and do the attendance in the class itself online, imagine in that department of mathematics there were 141 teachers in mathematics. And spending 3 years there, I have not interacted with more than 25 teachers in person. In 3 years, 3 साल में सिर्फ 25 लोगों से आमना सामना हुआ. But I knew names of all the 140 teachers, and everything was done in the form of committees. If I'm in the examination committee, so I have to do that job. Going for conferences, going for research projects, doing everything was online. And imagine in 140 teachers in the department, guess how many people would have been in the non-teaching side? In our departments, we have 10 teachers, 10 non-teaching supports, such staff. There were only 2 non-teaching members. One was the secretary to the head of the department, one was just looking outside. Now to make Xerox, the teacher was given the password to make 1000 Xerox. 1000 Xerox finished, next password. Everything was supposed to be done by the teacher. And he used to take pride in that. But in that respect, we are lucky enough that we have support staff here. We should be doing more things in a better way. And when I came in the first year in the summer here, I was in the campus staying inside. After coming outside from the masjid, then controller examinations met me and he said, "What did you find the change from here and there?" I said, "There is everything online." And that controller, Professor Abdul Salam from economics department, he started the first online system for e-awards. It started from there. And now we are well versed with the time. Our IT department is doing a very good job in the whole of UT, even at the national level. Now similarly, even if sometimes we are stuck, we have problems with dealing with the students or with our colleagues from teaching side, we can take an excuse. "Sir, I have not come across this point. Maybe tomorrow I will go through it. I will ask my seniors, my colleagues, and tomorrow we'll discuss it." So the first thing is the intention. Of course, the mindset, as Maruf Saab said, then comes the mindset, and the professional automatically comes. These small things, learning things, is not a big deal. Nobody comes 100% fit from home. Every new day we have to learn things. The first and foremost important thing is to be a professional in our business. Once that comes, we are done. And the society is also expecting a lot from us, both from teaching side as well as non-teaching side. Sometimes news come in the press that there is a student whose result was hanged for so many days. That should not have been the case. It should not have happened at the first place. Maybe sometimes it's exaggerated, it's not always true whatever comes in the press, but will not give a chance for these elements. And I know my staff, they are very, very trained and they can do wonders. But the only thing is to focus on the changes. And if we send our teachers for training programs, why not you people for training programs? It should be a regular exercise. Now coming for this one day session or 2-day session is not enough. There should be rigorous training programs. Not only here, we should send our colleagues outside Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. We can send them to places of excellence like IITs to learn the techniques. We have to use this technology to our advantage in a nice way. One last thing before I take leave from you. When I was a student of PhD in 1991 and 92, there was no internet in our country. And I had to visit every week to big institutes for collection of research papers because nothing was online. And many journals were not available, so we had to write letters abroad. And I remember those days I used to get hundreds of papers. Many times I used to get papers from China because Chinese people were doing very good work in my area. And many times the papers were in Chinese. So there was another problem, what to do. Then I had to look for the translator. So I had to go to Delhi to see some Chinese people and who know both Chinese and as well as English. So I used to spend a lot of money. But now, imagine research you can do at home. You don't require these things now. Same impression should be in this profession, which is so sacred profession for you and for us also. So I hope this 2-day workshop is a very good beginning for our support staff, and this should continue. It should be sometimes like 7 days workshop, and the workshop should be in groups, not like, it should not be just spend 7 days. So this should be a rigorous quality, like we can take 30 participants in the first instance, because other work has to continue, the university work, then another 30 participants in the next workshop. And we have good experts here also, we can bring good experts outside also so that the staff gets trained. For instance, take the example of accounts section. We need rigorous training there. people who are working with recruitment, we need rigorous training because they have to communicate to professors, experts outside. So the first impression is the communication, the communication skills. As I said, that everybody does not come learn from home. We have to learn here. We have to learn with the changes. Similarly, the IT section, the examination section, the departments, parents come, students come, how to interact with them, how to react to their questions and queries. And at the end of the day, I believe this is ibadah. Salary तो वैसे भी मिल जाएगी, आप करो या मत करो, मुलाजिम लग गई, salary we have to get. I am a teacher, how good I am at teaching, at the end of the day, on the first, I have to take the salary. Lekin something divine is there. And some satisfaction is also there, consciousness is also there. लेकिन ज़बरदस्ती कुछ नहीं होगा. Conscious create करना है. By if I get a chance to be a teacher, you get a chance to work at your place. You perform better. It's better for your growth.